Hello, guys. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. This is Gifty Midwife here again. First of all, sorry for not being here for a couple of weeks now. It's been quite busy with the festivities and the new year. But Happy New Year to all of you. Hope everybody is doing well and your year is going smoothly so far. In this live, I'm going to be discussing with you about what to do and how to cope in early stages of your labor whilst you are at home before you go into the hospital. I'm going to talk about and give you some ideas on how your partner can support you, what you can do to support yourself, and things that are practical to you that you can use that may support you as well. Just a little disclaimer, this video is just for information purposes. It's not giving any personal care advice to any individual. So if you have any questions regarding anything you hear here, please do speak to your healthcare professionals and your doctors or your midwives to ask for more information or for them to elaborate. If you have any questions for me, then I'm happy for you to leave it in the comments whilst we're in this live, or if you're watching it after I've uploaded it, then you can leave me any questions you have in the comment section, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. So this live is all about giving you information on how to cope during your labor. If you're pregnant and looking for your birth, or a bit nervous to your, feeling nervous when you think about labor, but you are planning to have a natural birth, then this video might give you a little bit of an insight and just to give you some tips on how to cope at home. So before you go into hospital to have your baby, you are going to have a period of time where you are at home because you're not ready to go into the hospital yet. Although you are in labor, you are in the early stages of labor, and which is what we call the latent phase of labor. So if you are at that time, your hospital or your midwives will tell you to stay at home, and therefore you're going to need ways and know of ways of coping when you're at home. So that's what this live is about. Thank you so much for joining the live. Please do give me a thumbs up and also share the live if you feel somebody will be interested in knowing the information. I'm a midwife based in the United Kingdom, and I'm giving some information about how a woman can cope, the support that the partners can give them during the early stages of labor when you are at home. So if you are interested, then please stick around and ask any questions and support the live. Give me a thumbs up whilst you're here, and I'll really appreciate it. So if you're at home and you're going into labor, this may or may not have in any way that you have either broken your waters or you're even experiencing any shows. Okay, so labor can start before your waters are broken, before you see any shows or anything like that. It can just start with your contractions, and that is quite normal. Okay, you don't have to have your waters broken first or to see a show before your labor starts. As long as you are over the gestation of 37 weeks, then your baby is not premature, and therefore if any labor contractions start at home, there is no worry of concern. You don't need to rush into the hospital. You just need to give them your hospital a call and just let them know that you are experiencing some contractions. So once your contractions have started to regulate, okay, so this is when you see that there's a pattern to it and you're getting contractions maybe every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, you will need to call up your hospital and let them know that you are experiencing some form of contractions, and that is okay. They will give you some advice about it, and they will ask you a few questions, such as, has your waters broken? Is your baby moving well? This is a very, very important question for them to ask you. And it's also very important that you are keeping an eye on your baby's movements, okay? Because during labor, your baby is still going to be moving just as regularly, if not sometimes a bit more as well. When you have your contraction, at the time that your contractions are actually happening, your baby may not be moving because the baby is getting really, really squished and getting pushed down to the birth canal. So the baby's not going to be moving at the time of the contraction when your abdomen is very tight and you're experiencing your back pain, your lower abdomen pain, or all over tummy pain, okay? But after the contractions have worn off and it's going down, you should start to feel baby move again. And it's not going to be like a movement where you've been feeling, you know, all the kicks and things, but you've been feeling baby moving and rolling. It's the same feeling as you would have felt for maybe about 36 weeks. So all of that still needs to be happening. But the first thing I would say is once you've contacted your healthcare professionals or your midwives to tell them that you have been experiencing these contractions, and they will ask you how often they're coming. So for the purpose of this video, let's say your contractions are coming every 5 minutes, okay? They may be lasting for 20 seconds to maybe 30 seconds, which is really good. So you've called your midwife's unit, they've told you to stay home, they've reassured you, you're feeling comfortable, confident, you've got a support network, whether it's your partner supporting you or a family member supporting you or, you know, a relative, but you're not alone. And somebody is there with you to guide you, to support you, to make calls if you need them to, and you're feeling quite safe. Just make sure that it's very important that you are feeling safe, okay? So make sure you're not on your own and everything is taken care of. So once you are now feeling comfortable, you're in the house, you've let your midwives know that you are in labor, they've reassured you. The first thing I will always recommend for you to do to help you cope in the labor is to try and maybe have a bath. So if you have a bathtub, I would recommend that you fill in the bath. The temperature of the water can be anything that you like, just not make it too hot to burn you or too cold, okay? So make it a good temperature, maybe 36.5 degrees. Fahrenheit, and that is your level that you're going to make the water. Get into the water, make sure that it's high enough so that it covers your whole body and you are comfortable in there. Try and stay in there for at least maybe 20 minutes. If you can do half an hour, that would be absolutely a fantastic. But your water tends to get a little bit cooler after about 30 minutes. So aim for 20. If you can do 30 with a water temperature, then that's great. Whilst you're in the bath, you're still going to be having your contractions every 5 minutes. Hopefully, you start to feel like the contractions are not as bad as what they felt like when you were not in the bath, because your body tends to really, really relax, and your levels of hormones that is helping you to produce the hormones to give you more contractions are going to go higher. Okay, so the oxytocin levels are going to go higher because you're feeling more relaxed, you're not tensed, and also the weight of baby is a little bit off, like it's lifted you off, and you're feeling a bit more buoyancy in the water, okay? And you're feeling lighter in the water, so you're able to relax more, and therefore that is going to help you. After you've stayed in the bath for the 20 minutes, or let's say half an hour, come out of the bath, dry yourself. Please make sure that before you get in and out of the bath that you get some help. So let your partner support you to get into the bath. And also when you're coming out, let them also support you to come out. We do not want you to slip and fall or anything like that at all, okay? So come out the bath with some help and also get in the bath with some help. Once you've come out the bath, dry yourself, wear something super comfortable, something that, you know, you can easily get in and out of, and you are happy to just lounge about. It's not tight, it's not restrictive, it's not itchy, it's not anything that's going to add to your stress of, you know, being in labor. So make sure that you have maybe a big t-shirt when you're at home. If you're wearing a big t-shirt, if the time comes where you need to quickly run to the hospital or you have to now be going into the hospital, you can just simply put on some jogging bottoms or maybe some leggings, throw over your jacket and get into your car or your taxi and make your way into the hospital when the time comes. So get yourself really comfortable and then try to relax after you've come out the bath. If you haven't eaten, try to eat something. It's very important that you eat something during your contractions when you're at home if you are hungry. Okay, so don't just limit yourself to think, oh, I'm in labor, I don't have to eat. You do have to eat something. So eat something that is going to be slow releasing in energy. So a lot of fiber. Try to eat something that is maybe something like a little bit of dry things. So if it's in the morning that you're going through this, instead of having maybe like fried egg or bacon or sausages or anything like that, try to have maybe brown bread toast with a bit of butter, maybe a tea, something like this, okay, to help you to something that you can eat and drop and go back to it, and nothing that you have to sit and really concentrate, because you may not be able to concentrate so much to eat the food, but you have to eat. If you're hungry, please try and eat. So eat something, rest a little bit so you can lie down When you lie down in your bed or couch or whatever, the best position to lie in is to lie on your left hand side. You can put a pillow in between your legs so that you can be a bit more comfortable and you can lay really, really comfortably on your side. Okay, so lie on your side. In the background, as all of this is happening, try to play something really relaxing, some relaxing music, or if you're going to have the telly on, then maybe make sure that is something very funny, something that's going to make you feel happy, is going to help you to stay calm, is going to help you to release more of the right hormones, some oxytocin, sort of cortisones, nothing stressful. Please do not play the news. Do not be, have anything that's stressing you in the background at all whilst you are resting and relaxing and waiting for contractions to get better. Once you feel like you're well rested, it's important that you try to move about as well. So try to walk around in your house as much as you can. Maybe get your partner to support you or to anchor you. Whenever you get contraction, you can stop, lean on something or hold on to maybe at the kitchen counter or a sofa or anything like that. Keep your legs open just so that your pelvic is as open as possible to help baby's head to get into the pelvis, okay? So when you are having your contractions and you've got your legs open, you're holding onto your banister or your work or countertops, open your legs and swing your hip from side to side, side to side, and this is going to help you to get into a really good position, a good posture, and to help baby's head go into the birth canal. The other thing that you have to be aware of is also your breathing. Please make sure that you are breathing really nice and slow. So you're taking your deep breath through your nose and blowing out through your mouth, okay? So don't do any hyperventilating. This is like when you're breathing like, please don't do that. It's not going to be good for you and it's not good for the baby, because if you're hyperventilating or you're breathing really fast or your breathing is not as regulated as it should be, you're going to have less oxygenation to yourself, meaning that the baby's also going to be a little bit compromised. And you will find that when you go into the hospital and they start to monitor your baby's heart rate is going to be very, very high. And this is going to be a concerning issue for your doctors. So please try and breathe really, really well whilst you're at home. What you need to do is take a deep breath in. Okay, you're going to take a deep breath. And that's how you're going to do it. You're going to take deep breaths. If you can do up to 5 seconds of breathing in and breathing out up to another 5 seconds, this is really going to help you to stay focused. It's going to help your body to really regulate itself, and it's going to help you with your good circulation and oxygenation to yourself, meaning your baby's going to be getting good oxygenation as well. And it's going to help you to get through your contractions that you are experiencing. So really, really take your time and to practice, even before you go into labor, how to do these breathing exercises, okay? So you need to try and learn about breathing. Don't wait till you're in labor to learn about breathing, because it's going to be very difficult. Another thing that you can do to support yourself whilst you're at home is to try and once you've had your shower, you can take maybe a paracetamol, which means you're taking 1 milligram, which is 2 tablets, 500 micrograms each, and that will make 1 milligram in the dose. So you're taking 2 paracetamol and you're going to try and keep mobilizing. Okay, it's very, very important that you mobilize when you're at home. Please don't lie down if you can cope with walking around. If you're walking around, it's much better for you. It's going to help with gravity to pull baby down and help you to carry on bringing more and more of your contractions. Being active is going to help you to develop more contractions, and the contractions are what is going to help your cervix to dilate and for you to have the time to go in and give birth in your hospital. So try to keep mobile as much as you can during your contraction at home, okay? It's okay if after some time you feel like your contractions are becoming more closer, so they've moved from now every 5 minutes to maybe every 4 minutes or every 3 minutes, okay? What you are aiming for before you go in is to be experiencing 3 contractions in every 10 minutes, okay? So if you take a 10-minute slot, you must get 3 contractions before that 10-minute is out. And if you're getting 3 contractions in 10 minutes, it means your contractions are now probably lasting about a minute, 40, 50 seconds to about 60 seconds. And they're coming more or less every 2 to 3 minutes, okay? So whilst you are now getting into the motion of this is the time to then give your hospital a call again. Let them know that things have progressed and you are now contracting your 3 in 10. You're doing well, and anything that is changed from the last time that you spoke to them till now. Let's say, for example, your waters have now broken. You need to call them and update them with this, and then they will tell you what to do next. So you're always keeping them up to date with any new changes or anything else that moves from what you are normally experiencing. So whilst you are progressing and you're doing really well, please do keep in touch with your hospital to let them know any news and any updates as well. Another thing for the first thing that your partner can do to support you, apart from helping you in and out of the bath or maybe checking on time and things like that, is to make sure that he is supporting you to keep drinking, to keep hydrated. When you're in labor at home, please don't chuck down water, okay? It's not advisable for you to drink lots and lots and lots of water. Instead, you're going to have a cup with a straw and you're going to be sipping water through the straw to help you to stay hydrated. It's very important that you have some sort of a measuring mug or a bottle with measurements so that you would know exactly how much water you've had since you've been at home. Because when you go into hospital, they are going to ask you how much water have you drunk and have you been able to pass urine okay. So your partner's job, whilst he's at home and monitoring times of you having your contractions and things like that, is for him to also keep a record of how much water you're drinking and how regular are you passing urine. So it's very important that you try to pass urine at least every 2 to 3 hours that you try. You may not be able to pass much or if any, because at this point, if you're contracting 3 in 10, your baby's head is really low, so it's pressing and blocking a bit of your bladder. So it will be hard for you to pass urine. You may have to do a little bit of a movement, jiggling about in order to get the urine out. So if you're not able to pass urine, you need to please make a note of it. Because if you're drinking a lot of water, but you're not able to pass a lot of urine, then when you get to hospital, your midwives will have to do what is called an in and out catheter, which is where they put a small little catheter through your urethra, and then they will drain the urine that's in your bladder to help you to empty the bladder. Okay, it's very, very important that you're not having a full bladder during your contraction, or you're not able to pass urine, so therefore you're constricting your bladder, or your bladder is going to get overly stretched and overly holding too much urine, which is not advisable or safe for your bladder. So your husband's job or your partner's job is to make sure that he's keeping a record of how much urine you're passing and how much water you're accumulating, so that we know that the ratio is good and you're not over exerting your bladder. So bladder care is very, very vital, and it's very important during your labor for midwives to keep track of. And whilst you're at home, as we're not there with you, it's important for your partner to keep track. So the best thing that they can do is to make a note of how often you are passing urine and how well you passed urine. So if you pass urine, just let him know that you didn't pass urine. If you did pass and you think, oh, it's only a little bit or a drop, let them know that as well. Let him know that so he can document that down, so that you'll be able to give a good account of your bladder work since you've been at home. That's another thing that your partner can do. If at any point you feel you're having contractions and you're having lots of back pain, best thing to do is for your partner to try and give you a massage during your contraction. So there is no need for your partner to massage you when you don't have a contraction, because you're not going to be experiencing the back pain or as much back pain. So there's no need for him to be massaging you when you're not having a contraction. However, the best time to give you a back massage is to give you a back massage during that contraction, that 1 minute when your contractions are really there and they're really at its peak. The best place for him to put the hand to massage is just above the bum line or the bum crack, just above that. Okay. And what he's going to do is he's going to hold his hand like this, and this part of his hand is what he's going to press against your lower back. And all he's going to do is put it there and just move like this and like that, and just do that. And then he's going to put pressure and just hold. Okay. There is no need for him to move up your back, move to the side too much, or anything like that. Okay. It's not an exhausting massage. It's just a little pressure in the area to help during the contraction so that the pain is not so much. Okay, and it's going to be really, really helpful for you if you're experiencing back pain at home. If you're in a hospital, or when you go into hospital and you tell your midwife that you're having a pain in your lower back during the contraction, he can teach your partner how to do it for you, or whoever is with you do it for you. But now we're not going to be there at home. So if he doesn't already know, please, if you're watching this video, know that you are going to be putting pressure just on the lower back with this part of the hand. You're not using any thumbs or any fingers at all for this massage, okay? You're going to hold his fist like this, and this part here is going to press on your lower back. So if you're looking down on your spine, just below there where the bum line or the crack starts is where he's going to put this pressure. Okay, so he's going to place it there, push in during your contraction, and if he wants to make any movements at this point, he's slightly going to move like this with the hand. Okay, he's just going to do that on that same spot and not move, and then keep pressure. You're going to go between this movement and pressure, this movement and pressure. That's it. Okay, so that's the massage he needs to do for you at home if you're experiencing back pain in your contraction. That's it. As soon as the contraction goes away, you stop massaging, and then you learn and you come back down with your breathing, and you take deep breaths through your nose and blow from your mouth. You need to be able to breathe like this, okay? Please do not breathe with hyperventilating or trying to really make noise and scream and ooh and all of that. You are going to do that. That's fine as well. But in the intensity of a contraction, to help you to stay focused, to help you to stay calm, and to make sure that your heart rate is good and the oxygenation going to baby is good, you must breathe well. And you need to practice breathing before you are in labor. You need to calm down in the evenings, relax. After you've done everything, sit down. You can sit in your couch, you can sit in bed, and with your partner, you're going to practice breathing techniques, okay? You're going to take a deep breath for as long as you can through your nose, like this. You are going to try and breathe and practice this. Try to do this at least for 15 minutes every night. By the time you get to about 36 weeks and onwards, start to learn your breathing techniques. Don't just wait until you're in labor to learn how to do the breathing techniques. If you're doing it right before labor starts, at some point you're going to feel really lightheaded and really relaxed. Okay? And this is what you're going to be practicing, because when you're having contractions, you need to have good oxygenation in order for your baby to be well oxygenated. Because if you don't, when you get to hospital, if you've been breathing like, you are going to feel your baby is not going to get good oxygenation, okay? So their heart rate is going to be very high. And the way you're going to know this is because your baby's going to be kicking quite a lot, and it's going to be quite worrying. So at some point, you're going to call in and say, the baby's moving a lot, the baby's moving a lot. Is this normal? Please learn your breathing techniques. You have to do this. When you get to hospital and you're doing this kind of breathing like I've just shown, the midwife will draw your attention to it, and she will tell you to calm down with your breathing and breathe slower, okay? So they're going to tell you, take a deep breath through your nose and breathe out. And you're going to do this with every contraction. When you go into hospital, they're going to give you a hand. Before you go into hospital, learn before your labor starts. Okay? It's very important that you learn this. It's not going to happen straight away, and you're going to take it. It's going to be a big problem if you didn't know it, and you have to learn it during your contraction. Okay? It's important that your partner learns with you, because at some point, even if you're doing it really well, you are going to stop doing it. And if your partner knows how to do it, he's going to be able to come to you and remember or remind you that you are not doing it right, and he's going to do it with you. This is what brings couples together, and it makes them feel closer, and they feel bonded during labor. If your partner is able to support you in a way that is meaningful to you, or it makes changes to you and how your contractions are being affected, it's going to bond the two of you together. Okay, it's going to make you feel like he's really there. He's going to feel really, really useful as a partner, and he's going to feel like he's doing something that makes a change, or he's doing something that makes a difference. So he doesn't feel out of place. He doesn't feel like, he's not doing enough for you, and it's not going to make him feel overwhelmed. Because to watch somebody going through pain, or somebody that you love going through pain, and there's nothing that you can do, is very hard thing. Okay, as midwives, we can watch you that you're having a contraction, but we're not looking and thinking the same way as your partner would. We're looking at you as, you're doing an amazing job. It's the only way you can do to help bring your baby to the world, and we're going to support you in a professional manner that we know how to. However, your partner is not, a professional as a midwife or a doctor, and they're there, and your well-being, not that your well-being is not important to the midwives, but we're looking at it from a different perspective. Okay, and they're looking at it from a different perspective, and the way that is going to help them to feel comfortable and to feel at ease is by helping you. And the way that your partner can help you is through physical contact. Okay, when you're at home, your partner, or if you're a partner watching this, when your wife or your girlfriend or your partner is at home going through labor and it's not time to go in yet, in order for you to support them and for you to feel involved, you need to be really close to them. Okay, don't be in another room when they're somewhere else laboring because of fear of anything or blood or anything like that. Please be next to them. The best way you can help is by talking to them. And to talk to them, when I say talk, make sure that the talking that you're doing is very positive. Okay, is what is going to give them more reassurance, is going to give them, or is going to make them feel safe. They're going to feel loved, and they're going to feel well supported. That is what you need to bring to the table when it comes to supporting your partner during laboring at home. Be close to them, be attentive, make sure you're asking the right questions, such as, are you feeling like you need to go to the toilet? Do you feel like you need more pain relief? Do you want me to call the hospital? Is there anything different? Is the baby moving okay? Are you feeling all right? Do you need me to do anything else? Those are the kind of questions you need to be asking, and those are the support you need to be giving. Be attentive, be there, give little strokes, give little massages, little touches, little whispers. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them you are here for them. They're doing amazing, and you love them so much. You are doing everything to help for her body to produce more of the hormones that is going to help to produce more contractions. Okay, so the more you're doing this, the more the contractions are going to increase, the longer they're going to last, and the longer they last, the more dilation that the body makes. Okay, because without contractions, the baby is not coming out. Okay, we need the contractions to come. So if you're the mom in labor, in your mind, please be mindful of what you're thinking. Okay, because labor is a lot of mind game, is a lot in your own mind. If you are thinking positively, you're going to do much better than somebody that's thinking negatively. So positive thinking is when you are in your own head during the contraction or at the peak of it, you are not thinking anywhere apart from thinking, my baby's coming soon. This is the quickest way to meet the baby. I'm going to do this. I can do this. I am a great mom. I'm going to be an amazing mom. I'm going to love this baby. My baby's going to love me. We're going to be a great family. I can't wait to meet this baby. And this is what you're thinking. Okay? Please do not worry about the time or how long it's taking, because one way or another, your baby is going to be born. Okay? So when you are contracting at home, don't look at the time. Instead of looking at the time, stay positive and be mindful of what you're thinking. You're telling yourself positive things. You can even make some audios beforehand of telling yourself some affirmations. I'm a great mom. I'm going to do this. My body can do this. This is what Mother Nature's meant to do. And I am a woman. I can do this. Everybody's been doing it. Why can't I do it? Of course, I can do it too. I'm a great, like really, really positive stuff. This is going to help you to produce a lot of oxytocin in the brain and stay away from the stress hormones. Okay, so you do not want any cortisone sneaking in during your contractions and your labor, because when that goes in there, your body's going to be in like a fight or flight, state, and it's going to be very confused. It's thinking, are we running away? Are we like enjoying this, or shall we stay and do this? Should we go away? So your hormones are going to be, a little bit up and down, and therefore your contractions are going to start to reduce. It's going to start to, get a little bit further apart, and it's going to be very challenging to try and get back into the swing of things. So as the partner, you need to be able to read your partner and think, is she feeling nervous? Is she looking like she's nervous? Is she looking like she's scared? Do I need to take her in? Do we need to call the hospital again? Like try to read her from the body language that she's showing. If she's starting to say things like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do this, I think we should go in now, you can then see that she's panicking, okay? She's panicking, she's a little bit worried. If you are not able to reassure her, to make her stop thinking like that, then the best thing for you to do is to take her in, okay? Take her into the hospital, let her go and see the midwives or the doctors, and they can reassure her. And then it's going to help her to get back to her state of feeling good again and feeling relaxed, feeling safe, so that the right hormones can continue to progress and can continue to be produced to help her to carry on laboring in the best way possible. Okay? When you are at home, another thing that you can do to support your partner, or for you to feel like you are, for you to know that you're doing something, is to make sure that you are checking on things that are outside of her abilities to check. So you are making sure that your bags are in the car, your hospital notes are where they're meant to be, that her bags are packed. If there was any little things that she's left out of the hospital bag that she was meant to take, in the last moments. For example, if your partner has collected any colostrum and you've frozen those, this is a time that you're thinking, okay, let me get them out the freezer and put them into the bag, because if we need it, she's going to have it there. These are the things that you need to be making sure that is happened, or you're making sure that is okay and is there. Okay, this is going to help your partner a lot, knowing that all that bits are all covered, or when it comes to needing something and she's thinking, oh my goodness, I forgot, you can step in like the hero that you are and say, no, babe, I've got it here because I remembered. Those are the things that's going to make you feel really connected, really bonded. It's going to make you feel like you're really doing something and what you do matters. And it does. She will really appreciate that. So please make sure that you are in the background, just checking on things that needs to happen. Did you put anything in the freezer that you want to take with you? Take that out. Did you put anything somewhere else that she needs to take? Take it out. Did she wait till last minute to pack her toiletries? Go and pack it up for her, put it in her bag. Things like that is what you could be doing. What is not useful for you to be doing, or not that it's not useful, but it's not important as other things, is when you are sat with a book or a notebook writing down every contraction that she's getting, the time that she's getting it, how long it lasts for. You're running out of pages and pages and pages of writing contractions. Please, that is not important. When you bring that into us as a midwife, all those contractions that you've written are all gone. Okay, we start to track from the time she gets in, and we do our own assessment. We don't need everything that you've written at home. That is for your own purpose. So all you need to worry about in terms of writing at the time. So if you're the partner that likes to keep record of things, when you want to know the contraction, when you want to track your partner's contractions, just take a 10-minute block. Okay, 10 minutes out of the clock, maybe every half an hour. Take it 10 minutes and see how many contractions she experiences in that 10 minutes. That's all you need to do. Okay, you write down the time. Let's say it's 1 o'clock. You write 1 o'clock. By 10 past 1, you need to know how many contractions did she have in that time. And then if you know she's having 3 contractions in that time, you know that these contractions are coming every 3 minutes or every 2 to 3 minutes, and they're lasting about a minute. That's it. And then when you started to see that, okay, this is getting more and more regular, and she's definitely having 3 contractions, just look at the last time that you saw a 10-minute, a 10-minute with 3 contractions in it. And that's all you need to know. When you come in, we're going to ask you, when did the contractions get, regular? When did they start to become 3 and 10? Or, you can give us that time and say they started becoming 3 and 10 at 1 o'clock. and that is important. That's all we need. We don't need to know what's happened 5 hours before that, because all of that is called a latent phase. It doesn't matter. It's just your body's way of practicing and trying to get into labor and trying to maintain the hormones that's going to keep it in labor. So you don't need to worry about writing out all the times and all the contractions that your partner is experiencing. So instead of doing all of that and spending time doing that, do more productive things, such as making sure the bags are fully packed, the bags are in the car, her hospital notes are somewhere that you know. If it's a digital one, you know that it's logged in. If you didn't know the password, you know that she's now, you've asked her at some point to log in, and therefore it's easier for you to access anything. If you have to make the phone call for her, you need to make sure that you know the hospital number, or you know her NHS number, or her identification number that they're going to ask you. So these are the things that you should be doing to be more productive when you are supporting your partner at home, rather than writing down every minute of contractions or every contraction that she's experiencing. Okay, the best time, and this is a really good important tip that you must know, is when to go into hospital once you've been having these contractions at home. So the best time to go into hospital is once your partner is contracting every 2 to 3 minutes, and you're getting your two contractions in a 10 minute, and it's now very regular to a point where when she's experiencing a contraction, she cannot talk. Okay, she's not able to talk. So you may ask her a question, for example, oh, do you think it's getting stronger now, or is this more painful? And she's going to be completely zoned into herself, okay, contracting, breathing, and just looking at you like, she's only doing actions. Okay, there is no talking. Okay, she's contracting, she's not talking anymore, compared to maybe previous hour where she was, maybe when you ask her a question, the same question, oh, is it getting more painful, and she's like breathing through a contraction, she's doing this kind of action like, yeah, the contractions are getting really, really strong. Oh my god, it's really strong now, I think we need to go in. Okay, that is different to when you get to a point where you ask her the same question, like, do you think the contractions are getting strong? Shall we go in? And she's there going, ooh, okay, that is a difference. So if at any point you start to go from talking contractions or talking during a contraction to no longer talking during a contraction, it's now time for you to think about going in. She will be telling you in between the contraction that the contractions are no longer going away completely, or the pain is not going away completely. Okay, it's now going in waves where it peaks up and it starts to drop down, but it doesn't quite go away. It's still in the back, or it's in the lower part of the abdomen, but it's not completely pain-free. She's no longer getting any pain-free contractions. It's just a wave that comes up and goes down, and it goes up again and it comes down. But now she's experiencing something in the whole time. There is no longer time where she's got no contractions and she just finishes the contraction and she's now back to talking to you again, going, yeah, so did you pack the bags? And where is the dog going to go? Where's the cat going to go? And who's coming to babysit the other children? There's no more of that, okay? Or she's no longer asking you questions like, she's no longer talking to you. During the contraction, she's now in herself, she's in her zone, she's really focused inwards, and she's just thinking of how to get through that particular contraction. Once this happens, it's time for you to make your way in. Don't wait anymore. Take her in so that she can be assessed. When I say assessed, she needs to go in so that they can check her cervix to see if she's dilated enough for them to consider her to be in established labor, meaning that she's dilated at least 4 centimeters. They're going to keep her in hospital, and you're going to now start to call it in labor, in active labor. Okay, so you need to call up and get her to the hospital and get her to be assessed. Okay, please make sure that you take everything with you. You take your hospital notes, you take a bag for mum, the bag for the baby, and the bag for yourself to the hospital. Keep it in your car. if in case you don't need your bag or you don't think it's the real thing or you're still unsure, then at least keep it in the bag in the car with you so that if they say to you, yes, you are going to be kept in and this is the real deal, she's an established labor, she's, let's say, 5 centimeters, you are no longer going home, you can easily go back to your car and then pick up your bags and go in. But when you're going to the unit, please make sure that you take your notes with you. Okay, do not leave it in the car. Take your notes with you. It will make it easier for the midwife to access her details and to get, to bring up on the screen who she is and all of that, and then get you to a room and get you to a midwife to look after her. So please make sure that your notes are always with you to go with you to the hospital unit. Okay, if you want to leave your bags in the car, that's fine, but take your notes with you. All right. Please make sure that you are taking any information that you wrote down, such as, like I said, the urine, the times of the urine, how much she, passed, how much water she's been drinking. And it's also important that if she was to take any medication, such as paracetamol, you write down the time that she took that medication so that if it's still within that 4 hours, she's not given any more. Because if you went to the hospital and you're not sure what time you gave her, they're not going to be able to offer her that medication again until at least 4 hours later, because we don't want her to have any overdose. So please make sure you're keeping a good record of the times that she started having, 3 in contraction, 3 in 10 contractions, how often she's been going to the toilets, how much water she's consumed. Now, remember I said to put your water into a measurable jug or cup or some sort of something that you can see. So if you've drunk a whole jug of 2-liter water, that's what you're going to tell them she's drunk. Or you can say, this is our bottle. It was at 2 liters and now she's drunk 500 mils. Okay. Or she's drunk 1,000 mils, which is 1 liter. So this is the information that we're going to require from you as the partner when you come into the ward, into the unit with your partner in labor. Okay. Please take this into account. If you have any questions, please write down below. I'm happy to answer any questions. If not, and you're watching this on an uploaded pre-recorded, then please leave your questions in the comments box below, and I'll be more than happy to reply it for you. Hope this live was useful, or this video was useful if you're watching after I've uploaded, and I'll see you in the next live. The next live will be on Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock UK time, and I will see you again on another live on a Fridays, again 8 o'clock UK time. And thank you so much. Please share the video once you've watched, and I hope you find this useful. Take care, and I will see you in the next live. Bye, guys.